October 3rd, 1993, Mogadishu, Somalia. A city ravaged by civil war. The sun beat down on a chaotic scene. American soldiers, part of a peacekeeping force, prepared for a mission. Their goal was to bring a glimmer of hope to a shattered nation. But this mission, Operation Gothic Serpent, would soon descend into a nightmare. It became a searing testament to the chaos of war and the extraordinary courage of those who fight. The soldiers were elite. They were highly trained and ready to face danger. But nothing could prepare them for the hell that awaited in the streets of Mogadishu. What began as a swift operation to capture key lieutenants of a Somali warlord quickly unraveled. The mission transformed into a desperate fight for survival. Amidst the confusion and escalating violence, 2 Black Hawk helicopters, call signs Super 61 and Super 64, were shot down. This was the catalyst for a chaotic and desperate battle. American soldiers found themselves trapped. They were surrounded by heavily armed Somali militias. This was the beginning of what would become known as the Battle of Mogadishu, a battle etched into the annals of modern warfare. The downing of the Black Hawks was a turning point. The mission's objective shifted to rescuing the survivors. It was a race against time and against overwhelming odds. The situation in Somalia was dire. Years of civil war had left the country in ruins. Famine stalked the land. Warlords like the notorious Mohammed Farah Aidid held power through violence. The United States, along with other UN forces, intervened in 1992. Their mission was to provide humanitarian aid and restore order. Operation Gothic Serpent was a high-risk operation. The objective was to capture Aidid and his top lieutenants. The operation was planned as a quick strike. Small mobile units of elite soldiers would be deployed into the heart of Mogadishu. They would be inserted by helicopters and supported by ground convoys. The soldiers knew the risks. Mogadishu was a dangerous city. The streets were a labyrinth, and Aidid's militia, though poorly equipped, were numerous and determined. Despite the dangers, the soldiers were prepared to fulfill their duty. They were determined to bring some semblance of peace to the war-torn country. The mission relied on speed, surprise, and precise coordination. But the situation on the ground was about to unravel in ways no one could have predicted. The stage was set for a confrontation that would test the limits of courage and resilience and redefine the nature of urban warfare. The initial moments of the operation unfolded according to plan. Soldiers roped down from hovering Black Hawk helicopters. They swiftly apprehended their targets, but the situation quickly escalated. The element of surprise was lost. A Black Hawk helicopter, Super 61, was struck by a rocket-propelled grenade. It crashed in the city's maze-like streets. The crash sent shockwaves through the operation. The carefully crafted plan was unraveling. Moments later, another Black Hawk, Super 64, was also hit. It spiraled down, crashing several blocks away. The downing of the Black Hawks transformed the mission. The focus shifted from a capture operation to a desperate rescue effort. The soldiers on the ground faced a harrowing new reality. They were trapped in hostile territory, surrounded by an enraged enemy. They were cut off from their lines of support, facing overwhelming odds. Their training and courage were all that stood between them and annihilation. The crashes of Super 61 and Super 64 ignited the city. Thousands of armed Somali militiamen and civilians, angered by the incursion, poured into the streets. They converged on the crash sites, trapping the American soldiers. The soldiers on the ground fought with incredible courage and tenacity. They found themselves in a brutal urban firefight. Outnumbered and outgunned, they held their positions. They fought to defend the crash sites. They fought to protect the wounded. They fought to survive. Ammunition began to run low. Medical supplies dwindled. The heat was oppressive. The soldiers were exhausted. But their determination never wavered. They knew their comrades were depending on them. The battle raged throughout the night. The streets of Mogadishu echoed with the sounds of gunfire and explosions. The courage of the soldiers was tested like never before. They faced wave after wave of attacks. Their bravery and resilience shone through the darkness. Section 5. Rescue Attempts, a race against time. As the battle raged in Mogadishu, a desperate rescue mission was launched. A joint task force composed of Rangers, Delta Force operators, and Malaysian and Pakistani UN troops assembled. Their objective was to reach the downed Black Hawks and extract the survivors. The rescue convoy faced a harrowing journey. The streets were choked with debris and swarming with hostile forces. They fought their way through ambushes and roadblocks. Every inch of ground was contested. The rescuers displayed extraordinary courage. They pressed forward, knowing that the lives of their comrades hung in the balance. The situation was chaotic. Communication was difficult. But the rescuers never lost sight of their mission. The first rescue convoy reached the crash site of Super 61. They evacuated survivors under intense fire, but the second crash site, Super 64, remained cut off. The fighting continued through the night. Section 6. The Long Night Courage Under Fire. As darkness fell, the situation in Mogadishu remained dire. The soldiers at the second crash site were surrounded. They braced themselves for another night of fighting. They were low on ammunition, water, and medical supplies. The Somali militias, emboldened by the darkness, launched relentless attacks. The air crackled with gunfire, explosions shook the ground. The soldiers fought back with every ounce of their strength. They knew that their survival depended on holding their ground until dawn. Inside the crash site, Master Sergeant Gary Gordon and Sergeant First Class Randy Shuggart volunteered for a perilous mission. They requested to be inserted to protect the injured pilot, Chief Warrant Officer Michael Durant. Their request was initially denied, but they persisted. They knew the risks, but they refused to abandon a comrade in need. Gordon and Shuggart fought their way to Durant's crash site. They held off wave after wave of Somali attackers. Their courage was an inspiration to their comrades. They fought with extraordinary bravery, but were eventually overrun and killed. Their sacrifice bought Durant precious time. Section 7. The Aftermath. A Nation Reflects. The Battle of Mogadishu raged for over 15 hours. It finally ended on the morning of October 4th, when a rescue convoy, aided by Malaysian and Pakistani armored vehicles, fought its way to the second crash site and evacuated the remaining survivors. The Battle of Mogadishu was a costly victory. 18 American soldiers were killed in action, dozens more were wounded. It was the deadliest firefight involving American troops since the Vietnam War. The battle sent shockwaves through the United States and the world. Images of the downed Black Hawks and the bodies of American soldiers being dragged through the streets of Mogadishu were broadcast globally. The public questioned the mission's objectives and the cost of American involvement in Somalia. Section 8. The Price of Valor. Remembering the Fallen. The Battle of Mogadishu stands as a testament to the courage, sacrifice, and resilience of the American soldier. The soldiers who fought in Mogadishu faced extraordinary circumstances. They displayed incredible bravery. They endured unimaginable hardships. They fought for each other. They fought for their country. Master Sergeant Gary Gordon and Sergeant First Class Randy Shuggart were posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor, the nation's highest military decoration, for their extraordinary heroism in defending Chief Warrant Officer Michael Durant. The Battle of Mogadishu is a reminder of the human cost of war. It is a story of courage and sacrifice that must never be forgotten. The legacy of the fallen lives on. They are remembered for their valor, their unwavering dedication to duty, their willingness to lay down their lives for their comrades. Section 9. Black Hawk Down. Lessons for the Future. The Battle of Mogadishu holds valuable lessons for the future. It underscores the importance of clear objectives, effective intelligence, and a deep understanding of the complexities of urban warfare. The battle also highlights the importance of adaptability and resilience in the face of unexpected challenges. The soldiers in Mogadishu demonstrated extraordinary courage and ingenuity. They adapted to a rapidly changing battlefield. They overcame overwhelming odds. The Battle of Mogadishu serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict. It underscores the need for careful consideration of the use of military force. It emphasizes the importance of honoring the sacrifices of those who serve in harm's way. The lessons of Black Hawk Down continue to shape military doctrine and foreign policy. It serves as a powerful reminder of the enduring strength and sacrifice of those who serve.